What up, Caleb?
Hey, hey, hey.
What up, man? We
Oh,
back,
not
baby.
much. Yeah, this is episode 48 out of
Yes,
50.
sir. Yes, sir. Out of 50.
Miss Jamie says,
We got
finally catching it live. Woohoo.
Jamie. We love you. Thanks for
Jamie's
tuning
got
in.
a gun.
Jamie's got a
Oh,
gun.
speaking of which, you ever seen that movie? Not another teen movie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have.
Jamie's got a gun. And
Jamie's
they
got
tackle her.
a gun. So good.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So the funny thing is, I saw a clip of Chris Evans this morning, where he was like wearing the whipped cream and the cherry, and I had no idea when I was a kid that was actually him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
It's a flashback to Varsity Blues or whatever.
Yeah. She's like, "You like what you see?" She says, "I don't like Sundays."
Chris Evans, man. I totally forgot that was him.
Right.
Wow.
And the funny thing is, he still looks exactly the same. That's the weird part, you know?
Right, right.
That's crazy,
He's a lot like
man.
Kevin Richardson, man, where it's like
Yeah.
where he's aging backwards. You know what I mean? Benjamin
Ke-
Button, love.
Kevin.
Kevin. Everybody, let us know where you're watching from. Thanks for tuning in on this pop-in episode. Caleb and I have been talking about it all week, and we're like, hey man, do we make an event? We're like, no, let's surprise him. Let's
Yeah,
surprise him.
let's just not make an event and surprise them, because all we do is make events and they just all come here because they know about it.
Yeah, I like seeing everybody drop in just randomly, man. This is pretty cool. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, yeah, Miss Lori, Miss Sharon, Miss Dolores, yeah, Rory, what's up, my man?
Oh,
Um,
Rory's in the house, eh?
Rory says he's the only male in the house. That's
Mm,
awesome.
what up, dude? What up, dude?
What's up, man?
I wonder where Bobby went. You remember Bobby?
I do. He messaged me the other day. He asked how I was doing,
Cool.
and he said he misses us. Of course, life is hectic and crazy and busy,
Yes,
and
sir.
so I mean I understand. And we I think my words were, we miss you on the podcast. We hope you tune in soon, and we're here for you.
My pops, Mr. Ronald Chris in the house. He's back home in
Oh
Lexington, man,
snap!
hanging out with moms. So Rory, you're not the only dude. There's four of us right
Yeah,
now.
that's not
Right here, right
bad.
now, there's four of us.
Miss Shayla Garrett. Shout out to Miss Shayla Garrett for joining us. Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, hey,
Everybody,
hey.
tell us who your favorite Backstreet Boy is in the chat now.
You just want to get going on it? Okay, we got a
Yeah,
lot
let's
to
start,
dive
man.
into. We got to
Yeah, man.
dissect it piece by piece.
I mean, piece by piece, but we might only get to like 4 points tonight.
It's so funny, dude. We write down pages of talking points and we hit like two and then
Yep,
we just
yep, yep.
divert.
E- Every
Kevin.
single time, man. Every single
Yep.
time.
All right. So there was a rather large event, I would say. Well, not I want to say the event was large, right, Caleb? What I would say is it could lead to
Yeah,
something larger, correct?
larger than life.
Oh, did he go there?
I did.
Did he go there?
I did indeed, man.
Let me ask you this. Are you
Mhm.
happy with the four that it was? Are you happy with the four that they chose for it?
Um, well, I am, but at the same time, I do wish that Chris Kirkpatrick was there, because they didn't have anybody doing falsetto or
Yeah.
any of the highs. It was just like they were all doing individual parts, but every now and again when they were performing, which those who don't know, we're talking about Backsync. There was an event at the
Sorry.
Grove where Backstreet and members of Backstreet and members of Nsync performed together, and they did "I Want It That Way" and "Bye Bye Bye," and it was truly an incredible event. It was really hyped up to be a lot more than what it was,
Hmm.
because the way they were talking about it was gonna be like, maybe four songs each or three songs each, but all we got was a teaser.
Yeah. Can I be honest with you for a second, Caleb? Can I
Yeah,
do
man.
that?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I truly think the behind the scenes rehearsals were the best part of that. And I'm just
Yep.
being real. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
I definitely agree, because there wasn't there wasn't the track wasn't playing. It was just an instrumental, and you heard every single voice of Joey, and you heard Lance doing, "I don't want to be a fool for you," like perfect.
dude. Dude, and again, completely brutally honest, I didn't know that Lance got so deep. I didn't know that his voice
Yeah.
was that part of it. I didn't know he was the
Yep.
Kevin. You know what I mean?
He is he's got a beautiful deep voice for the lows. He can go pretty low. I mean, you hear him in all the songs, but there's some that you really hear him in a lot more. Like I Drive Myself Crazy. You hear Chris and you hear him saying, "I lie awake." You know,
Oh yeah.
it's
Oh yeah.
crazy, man.
Yeah,
Rory
man.
says, if you told me when I was 16 that any of the NSYNC and BSB member would perform together, I'd call you nuts. So that's
Nuts.
another thing we need to talk about because that's important about Backsync is I had no idea as a kid that Backstreet and NSYNC had this, you know, that the fans even had this huge rift between each other. I grew up loving both equally, and I we make a podcast, and I start finding out this news about when we started posting pictures of NSYNC and the videos, people were like, there was quite a few people who were very extremely offensively negative.
Yep. So again, we don't play that game, right?
Hmm.
You and I had this conversation, and the negativity, she gone. She gone.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
We don't deal with it here. Not here. Not here.
No, no, we're a podcast that's all about the 90s and 2000s and NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. Uh, I don't know if there's anybody bigger at that time, especially early 2000s and the end of the 90s. I don't know if there was anybody, bigger,
No.
you know? It's
Oh,
crazy
I
to me,
agree.
but
I agree.
it's, but yeah, we've had a lot of, bad apples, I guess you can say, that just, you know, if it was really harsh or brutal, we were like, yeah, you got to go. Sorry, gotta go.
Gotta go. No, man. And I think we're doing it the right way, bro. I really do. I
Yeah,
stand behind everything that we do and what we've said. And
yeah.
it's all for love. I honestly, I think, okay, so numerous interviews in the past couple decades, it's been, nah, man,
Mhm.
there's no hate, there's no beef, blah, blah, blah. Then
Yes.
all of a sudden, they're
It's,
like, nah, man, we had some beef. There was back in the day, we didn't like each other and we crossed paths. Now, I
yep,
think maybe it might be on the hype train, because why not? Why not bring the hype, right?
yep, yep. I mean, because it's when Chris said he was afraid of who AJ. I think he said he was afraid of AJ. That he
They
didn't want to be
dated
in
the
the
same
same
girl or
room.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and of course, I mean, I think if I was to be afraid of anybody of boy bands, it would be Jeff Timmons.
Yeah.
He's huge. He's
Yeah.
even bigger now.
Yeah.
I mean, but he's just the sweetest guy, by the way. We had
Yeah.
him on the show a while back, and he was just the coolest man.
So down to earth, dude. So down to earth. Dude, so who do you think did the best? Caleb, who do you think sounded the you go first and then I'll come in hot after.
Backstreets. They're our boys, but man, when you're doing someone else's song, especially with NSYNC, which for them it always required precision
Mhm.
in everything, vocals and dancing. Of course, NSYNC, Lance and Joey were just in sync. Backstreet,
Yeah.
to me, when I was watching the Grove performance, Nick made a lot of mistakes. He was doing this when he was supposed to do this, and but I mean, that's what happens when you get together and you come up with an idea, and 24 hours later you're doing it on stage,
Yeah. Yeah.
but what did you think, man?
Okay, so obviously, like you said, Backstreet's our guys. In the comments, drop in who do you think sounded the best? All right, guys, out of the four, who do you think sounded the best? Who do you think danced the best? For me personally, I've never had the chance to hear Joey's voice like that. And
Oh yeah.
bro, was pleasantly surprised again. I'm huge
Yep.
fan.
Yeah, he's incredible. I'm so glad that he's getting noticed because
Mhm.
of course JT and JC were the ones who got noticed, and but when I was a kid, for me it was always about Chris Kirkpatrick, um because I was always, um I guess you can say just so into falsetto and singing very, very high. And Chris had never, I mean, he really didn't ever get a spotlight, until that song, but Joey, man, Joey can sing. Joey can still sound exactly the way, and of course, if you guys didn't go see the Coachella performance with Ariana Grande and
Yeah.
Nsync members besides JT, truly it shows their talent, you
Yep.
know, shows that hey, they still got it. This clearly shows they still got it. The only thing I wish they didn't play the track, with the vocals on it. I wanted to hear, which, we got the rehearsal footage, which was all about them and their vocals. So that was exactly what I wanted to hear, and that was just the coolest thing ever. Then practicing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've always been upfront and honest on this show, and that's what we've always been about is the true voices behind the music, right?
Yeah,
And I think that's why we're both on the same page with the rehearsal being as strong as it was. And I honestly, I think that's why I like the rehearsal more because they all shined. Like I got to hear Lance, I got to hear Joey, I got to hear Nick, I got to hear AJ.
yeah,
That was great, man. It was so fun to watch.
yeah. And it was amazing to see Nick do Justin's part, and
Yeah,
that was really, really cool. And I thought he did fantastic. Because filling Justin's shoes, I guess you can say. Ariana Grande did what she could, but I wish it was just the boys, not her.
yeah.
But Nick did fantastic. You know.
Yep, yep, I agree. And something else I found surprising was, I'm sure Joey and Lance do singing on the side. I'm sure they're singing
Yeah,
all the time. But for their first like major kind of performance,
yeah,
they look quote in sync, like you said,
yep.
man.
Yeah, their voices didn't go out, and it's but then again, like you said, they're always doing something, so I guess they're used to it. But today I was watching this thing on YouTube, and it was a compilation of NSYNC things about TikTok, and Joey was on there doing the dance, I guess with his yoga instructor or some kind of he's doing some kind of fitness thing right now,
Cool.
and he did the bye 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 thing, and I was just like, man, he can just drop what he's doing, just do it
Yeah.
perfectly.
Is there a song that you'd like? Okay, let's talk hypothetical here, right? Let's get into
Hmm.
the weeds of it. Is there an in sync song outside of Bye 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 that you would like to see back sync quote perform?
Uh, I mean, It's Gonna Be Me would be good, but I would love to hear them. Well, I wouldn't want them to do I Drive Myself Crazy, because
Oh,
that's Chris's song.
yeah,
I don't think they can even any of their falsettos would do the justice of what Chris does.
yeah.
But maybe Pop,
Oh,
just
that'd be cool, huh?
like, yeah, because that song was just like just in
Dirty
your
Pop.
face. Yeah. Dirty Pop.
Dirty Pop.
Yeah.
Good one,
It's
dude. That was, yeah,
let Nick do that part.
yeah, yeah. Did you see the IG with him and Lance? I know you and I talked about it a little bit, but did you see how Lance came in with if you want it to be good,
Oh
girl,
yeah.
get yourself a yeah, and Nick's just
Yeah.
like, oh dang.
That's
That's pretty
awesome,
cool.
man. Yeah, it was cool seeing them all together, man. Because it just never happened.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess you can say it did happen with them being at I think Brian and maybe Nick were at this charity game where I think it was Lance and Chris maybe was
The
at this
basketball thing?
basketball. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
That was the only time, and which I think that was the time where they kind of learned what happened, that Lou was doing the same thing pivoting them against each other, and they were like, that was kind of the wake up call for Brian to say, all right,
Yeah.
taking charge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a long time since we've actually talked about that. So we'll have to do a full episode about that, and maybe Nick's book again. I think it was in like our single digit episodes that we actually did it.
Yeah.
That'd be a good topic, man, to really go in, dive into.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. That's a interesting because I finally saw the boy band break, the boy band movie.
Boy band con. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, boy band con, and wow,
Crazy dude.
what a guy.
Yeah. Heck of a dude. Heck of a dude.
What a guy. I mean,
That,
look, man. I got my own airplane. Look, you can't. Yeah, this is it.
yeah, dude, isn't that wild? I had no
Yeah.
clue, dude, back in the
No.
day in the 90s that's what he was doing. Not a clue,
Just these
dude.
little paper airplanes just holding up in the sky,
Wild, bro.
What a
Wild, and
smart
selling
man.
them. Yeah. Honestly, brilliant, evil human being, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Which, to the last of his days, man, he thought of nothing. Like, he didn't think nothing was wrong. He did nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And he still defended himself, even with with O-Town, or all these different other bands, still said, like, I did nothing wrong. I made Backstreet, which he did. I mean, that without Lou Pearlman, there wouldn't be a lot of these people. I mean, because Lou kind of revolutionized boy bands. He set the end of the 90s and early 2000s. He set what the charts were.
Yeah. No,
Crazy,
I agree,
man.
I agree. But to go through and do what he did to so many different people, we're not just talking boy bands here. We're not just talking
girl
that.
bands.
You're talking everything, just personal people, like Bernie Madoff style. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And to have no remorse for that, like, that's a sick human being, dude. That dude is ill.
Yeah.
It is not. It's you have to be out of your mind to not know that you destroyed lives, dude. You know?
Yeah, and it's pretty insane, man. And
Mm-hmm.
but you know what? Everybody's doing good in their life, and they were able to continue being who they are in the industry, and even Nsync, they only lasted a few years, but they continued because of that success with Nsync. They continued to do other things, and but I mean, I got a feeling, man. I got a feeling Backsync is going to get both bands together, man. I do have a feeling it's not going to be just four of them. It's going to be them. It's going to be, let's throw Jeff Timmons in there. I mean, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, the press blew this up. I mean, everywhere you looked, E-News, whatever you were looking at, they were talking about Backsync, and people were losing their minds over it.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm with you on this, Caleb. I think they turn this in, because the world's opening up, right? I think they turn this into a tour. I honestly do. Are you in for that?
I am, as long as Chris Kirkpatrick is there.
Yeah. That's our guy.
I think he you got to have Chris, and you got to have Howie, but I'm more, honestly, I would like to just see Nsync just be together again and perform. I mean, when they did Coachella, man, it was just insane. It was just crazy. Doing It Makes Me Ill was like, wow. But somebody's got to tell JC that he can sing, because the guy is very, very vocal about himself. He doesn't think he's a good singer, and he has a hard time with that. And maybe it was because of the album that he had produced or released. It didn't do well because it was the same time as Justin's album. But I mean, the dude's got an amazing vocal range, man.
Pure talent, bro.
Yeah. He's got the coolest hair too right now.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Well, I think that's tough, man, because even when Backstreet came out with their solo albums, they've been very vocal about how it didn't do what they wanted it to do.
Yeah.
But it's a brotherhood. It's a machine, man. It's the
Yep.
Voltron, right? Like
Yep.
all five do better that way. I truly think I do. And I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I believe that this reunites in sync minus
Hmm.
Justin. Oh, well, okay, that's fine, right?
Yeah.
We
Bye
both
bye
agree
bye.
that they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Why not do a New Kids like what New Kids and Backstreet did? That would be
Yeah.
massive, dude. Huge.
Which I saw one of the comments on the thing said like it's okay for New Kids and Backstreet because the person liked New Kids, and I was just like, that
Hmm,
makes no sense,
not at
and
all. No.
but New Kids was, of course, I mean, they were years and years ahead of when Backstreet came out, but
Yep.
well,
They're the big
yeah,
brothers, bro.
yeah, yeah, um and they're incredible too. And the NKOTBSB tour was just remarkable, you know.
Yeah.
But first of all, I want DNA tour to get done,
Yes. Yes.
because I do want to go see them again. I want that to get done, and then focus on whatever they want to do.
Hmm. Yep.
You know.
On that note, Shayla Garrett brings up a good comment here. She goes, I mean, I wouldn't be upset if when we finally get to go to our rescheduled dates that there happens to be an in-syncer or two. Ooh,
Ooh. Yeah.
Shayla.
Let's see. What song would you take out? What two songs would you take out?
Oof. Oof. That's tough. I don't know. I love them all, brother. Well, you could just do the opening.
Yeah.
I know that they wouldn't, it'd be
Oh
a
yeah.
humbling experience to open, but
Yep.
I think that'd
Oh,
be
that's
cool.
true. Yeah, yeah, that'd be amazing. But will they do it? Eh.
Yeah, I know. I
Maybe
know
not,
it. Mhm.
they're too great to open. Like they really are great. And I mean that respectfully. They are fantastic just to be to just be openers.
No, I'm with you on that, brother. I surely am. But couldn't they do it like they did with New Kids, where it's like song, then song, then song? I think that
Yep.
just throws a whole mix into it,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah, because they did such a great job with NKOT and BSB to make it um just with all these different songs, and they covered everybody. Like they covered everybody's favorites that they wanted to hear, and it was very equal.
Yes. No, and I think that the way they did it was just perfection, bro. And then they even had that song where they all tied in together. Uh,
Oh yeah, don't turn off the
Turn out
lights.
the lights. No, is that it?
Yeah, yeah, don't turn
Yes,
off
that's
the
a great
lights now,
song.
lights now. 'Cause in a minute we'll be in
I
it
love
like
it.
never before. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a great song. I mean, most people don't even know that song, which is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, and something else that I thought was good about the backseating thing is the dancing, right? Because you've been a firm believer and you've been
Yeah,
very vocal about NSYNC being the dancing one of the group, the better of the two, right?
yeah. It's very, which it drives me crazy because
Drive myself crazy.
it's crazy to me because when people say like NSYNC can't sing or dance, I'm just like,
Whoa.
have you watched them perform?
Yeah,
Like
dude.
it's pretty insane. I mean, and most of their stuff, they were even on all the old talk shows and stuff. They were doing all that live,
Hmm.
and like doing the entire "It's Gonna Be Me" or even "Bye Bye Bye," you know, uh, like nuts. They were doing it all, live, and then they had to sing it whenever, right
Yes.
after, the dance breaks were done in the beginning, and the whole time they're singing, they're doing the dance.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, there's a reason that they had headsets on their Pop Odyssey tour and not
Yeah,
handheld microphones, right? Because they were moving and they were
yeah,
kind of like a Justin Bieber thing, except better. I hate to
yep,
say it. And
yep.
Sync was better
Oh yeah,
because they're dancing the entire time. I mean, they don't have
yeah.
time for mic stands, bro. You know?
No, and Miss Laurie said they had a better choreographer who was Wade Robinson.
I loved Wade Robinson, bro. I loved
Yeah,
him. I mean,
man.
still love him, but
Yeah, yeah.
she's right. She's right, brother.
I mean, I think with NSYNC, Lou's idea was all right. We had a Backstreet they could sing and dance. well, what if we make NSYNC, just go even further with that and really just,
Boom.
I mean,
Boom.
the performances they were doing, it was insane, man.
Yes,
And
sir.
I mean, I've been watching, I've been just watching performances after performances the last few weeks, and it blows my mind. What they do and the props they use, and there was one where they're hanging with on wires doing flips while singing, and I'm like, there's no way.
Insanity, dude. Insanity. I
Yeah.
think you hit it right on the button, my man. I think you hit it perfectly. They had to separate themselves. They had to make themselves
Hmm.
different somehow. And yes,
Yeah.
Backstreet can dance. Yeah, they can. But Nick has been very, very vocal about
Yeah.
stating he was not comfortable dancing. He until the Dancing with the Stars came out, then
Yep.
he kind of opened himself up a little bit. But I think you're right. I think that's what made them different. Ooh, I did it. I did it. I did
Ooh. I was listening
it.
to an interview today where Lance was talking, and he was teaching Kiki Palmer the bye 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 dance, and he says, "It's funny that I'm teaching you because when I was doing this, I couldn't dance." And he's like, "I still don't think
Really?
I can dance." Like he was a horrible dancer, he said. And
Wow.
there's always that one in the group who can pick things up faster, and it wasn't Lance.
Hmm. No, that makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense. I've always tied Lance and Nick together for some reason. Maybe it was the
Mm,
frosted tips or whatever. But when you're comparing the
yeah.
two different groups, I've always
Yep.
thought Lance was like the Nick, and then that just lays it out perfect. They were two
Yep.
very very of the like.
It's crazy, man. And it's remarkable just watching now, because Chris Kirkpatrick and Joey, even Lance, they'll just meet sometimes, and they'll do events, and they'll do the dances while singing. And it's crazy watching them now. It's even with B Sync, it was just crazy to see, like, they don't skip a beat.
Mm-mm.
It's natural to them, and even today, and especially when they're really performing it, not just drinking and with a microphone, like karaoke style.
Yeah,
When they're really
yeah,
performing it, it's like, man, they might
yeah.
have dad bods now, except for Lance. Lance still looks exactly the same, but
And AJ, brother.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, but it's crazy to see them not skip a beat.
yeah. Everybody dropping their comments who they thought was who in the group, right? Like so, AJ and Chris or Lance and Nick. Everybody drop that in. I want to go ahead and piggyback off of what you said. Not skipping a beat. I think for decades and decades you're doing these routines and it's just nailed into
Hmm.
your brain. Like to see
Oh
them
yeah,
pick up where they left off, bro. I mean, you can dance, right? I mean, there's yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Don't be humble.
not
I've seen it.
now.
Well, once you're healthy again, I was just going to ask you, uh, once
When's
you
the
get
last time
healthy
you
and you get all
danced?
healed up, no, when you going to teach me the bye 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 routine or the chair routine? You're great with the
Uh,
chair routine, my guy. How long did
I
that take you, bro?
I was under 10. I was under
What?
10 when
Dang.
when I started doing a charity. I was probably eight and a half. I think eight and a
Whoa.
half when I started doing it. And yeah, I used to use a stool. I had a little stool. And then when I was about 11, I started using a actual foldable chair. And
Whoa.
I wish I could find my videos. I mean,
Me
I
too.
I know, because it's entertaining watching, especially when I was like 12 or 13 doing it, because I was just so much. It was a lot smoother than when you were 8 years old.
Mhm. No, I
But
get it.
but yeah, I have not come across the VHSs, and my dad hasn't. He's got all my grandma's tapes, but it's probably under something named like Roger Rabbit, do not over tape or something. It's probably on one of those.
Yeah. No, I get you, dude. I totally get you. All right. So last thing on this B Sync thing, man. Who's your favorite NSYNC member?
I would say Chris Kirkpatrick, man. I think
Yeah.
because he's always been fantastic vocally. He's always just been he was I think he was like 22 or 23 or something when he joined the group. And like Justin was 14,
Wow.
Lance was 17, 16 or 17, and um, I'm guessing JC was probably 24 or something, but and Joey was around there too. But Chris was always the one that stood out to me,
Hmm.
because he always just, everybody always had the, different hairstyles and stuff, but Chris had the, those braids,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
mean, he was always the one who was kind of different, especially with his voice. Man, even
Yeah.
today, his voice is just killer.
Yep. And I think what's something that's really, really cool to point out is watching their rehearsals and watching them dance. I
Hmm.
think Dancing with the Stars really, really open. I think Backstreet Love, they're in the house. Shout out to Backstreet Love. We love you guys.
Hmm.
I
Oh
think
yeah.
that they pointed out Dancing with the Stars unleashed something in our two guys, man. Because AJ just looks so confident up there.
Yep.
So confident.
Yep. And he's had knee surgeries and everything, so of course that musters on him. But it doesn't fault him because he doesn't show it.
I agree. I,
Now after each night they perform,
yeah.
I'm sure he
Yeah.
shows it.
I'm all fired up to see him in this new body transformation that he did. I'm excited to
Yeah.
see because okay, going back and watching DNA
Hmm.
and like the videos and the pictures that I have, I didn't realize that he was heavy. Like
Yeah.
because I'm just
Yeah.
used to seeing AJ like that. You know what I
He
mean,
always
bro?
wears baggy clothes, man.
Yes, yes,
A lot
yes.
of heavy people wear baggy clothes, so you don't even see the shape. And he looks so good now. He's
Hmm.
healthy, he's sober. Which is something we should probably talk about is the possibility of a Vegas residency of Nsync. To me personally, I think it's a horrible idea because Vegas is filled with temptation, and temptation's everywhere, but Vegas specifically, people go there to give in
Hmm.
to temptation.
Yeah.
And to me it's a dangerous place to be, man, when you're
Yep.
fighting sobriety or of any kind at all, whether
Hmm.
it's gambling addiction or drinking, whatever,
Yeah. No, I think you bring up a super valid point, bro. As all of our diehard fans know, I myself battled with addiction and alcoholism
Yeah.
and all that. And when I went to Vegas to see Backstreet Boys,
Hmm.
it's not that it's hard because
Yeah.
I'm so many
Yeah.
years removed of it, but I
Hmm.
also don't have endless amounts of money and people just wanting to give me things. And I think you're right, dude.
Hmm.
Because back sync would be perfect for a Vegas residency, right? But I
Yeah.
think it's dangerous. I think you hit it on the nose once again, man. I don't like that idea.
No, and I mean, just do a tour. Do a tour where you're able to go back on your bus and or get back on a plane and be around people who love you, and which I know AJ was able to go home, wasn't he, every night or something if he wanted
Yes.
to,
Yep.
because I think he lived like 2 hours away or something. But I mean, you know, it, Vegas is just a hard place to be at. I mean, I didn't like it because, I was bored.
What's there to do for guys like you and I, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah. Like for sober people and people who don't even like to waste money gambling, like it wasn't really, me. Like it wasn't for me.
yeah, let's answer Rory's question real
Yeah, I
quick.
saw
He
that,
asked, was
man.
it before or after Vegas that AJ became sober? It was after the residency and after the
Hmm.
DNA tour got shut down. He's just now recently sober again, since maybe a month or
Um,
two before Dancing with the Stars, I think.
yeah. Wasn't it like 17 months, 13 months, something like that? He said the other day.
Hmm.
And the whole time, sadly, in Vegas, we're all thinking he's sober, he's doing well. And it wasn't until what, 2 years later we find out like he hasn't been sober, and
Yeah.
and he even talked about Vegas was a hard place,
Hmm.
to be at. So yeah, he's doing great now. He's
Yeah.
doing great, and we're rooting him on. And
And you can
uh,
tell, right? Like, there's
yeah, yeah.
no doubt, bro.
Yeah, and and I guess a big thing of that was he was locked in his house for a year. So,
Yeah. You're right.
that
You're right.
might have been a big, huge part of it. But
Mhm.
it's all we can do is just pray and hope that he continues, and he's got a good sponsor. Renee's the sponsor, and
Great dude.
yeah, fantastic man. We love him to death, and he's just he seems to be there for everybody.
Yeah.
Because Cheryl Burke had talked about it the other day. She's struggling with sobriety. She's the other day she went to a party, birthday party, I think, with friends, and they were drinking, and she struggled, and she really wanted to like go take a sip, and she had to leave the party early, because her friends didn't understand. No one like that understands,
No.
what you're going through. No one, but she said she went somewhere else the other day, and again, so she asked Renee the other day on the episode if he would be her sponsor,
Oh
because
man.
she needs somebody. She's on the edge right now, and
Yeah.
that's hard to hear that, man.
It is.
Because
It
hey,
is.
for 13, 11, 12, 13 months, it's been so easy because
Mhm.
I haven't had to go to work. Well, basically I just haven't had to do anything, and
Mhm.
now the world opens up again, and it's like, all right, time to do what you're doing, what you were doing before, and it's like it snaps. Reality hits you like, oh, I gotta be around people again.
Yep.
you
Yeah,
know
no, I totally agree. And two things, you and I have talked about this, not publicly, but I think it's important to point out. Um, Once he came out with that statement about, he had relapsed and he'd only been sober for this long, I reached out directly to you because I felt
yeah,
bad, right? Because I
yeah, you did.
ran up to him. I ran up to him and I told him, how much his story and his sobriety means to me, and thank you for being my inspiration. And that crushed me, man, knowing, like,
Yeah,
because what do you think he's going through his head? He's looking at me knowing that he's not sober, right? Not that he remembers me because I'm not memorable, right? But that's beside the point. The question is how many people do that to him? How many
yeah.
people run up to him and say that? And he's got to look you in, and dude, it was just the weirdest look he gave me too. Just
Hmm.
like, yeah, man, you're welcome. And you can tell he wanted to move on from the subject. And so I felt bad, I, it is what it is though.
Yeah, man, it's got to be hard. I mean, it's just like any other situation when, it's like when your mom's like, thank you for not taking the last cookie, and you did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard, man, and that's, and consciously it's in your head, and or if you tell your mom you didn't go out that, to this person's house and you did, and it lingers in your head, you know and
Yeah. I just felt selfish is all. And I don't know why. I don't know why I feel that
yeah,
way.
yeah,
Uh, I just feel I felt bad. You
yeah.
know what I mean? And I
It's
don't
not
know.
something you
It's
knew,
God,
though, I mean,
just a weird feeling.
you just have to go by what someone tells us and tells
Yeah.
you, and what we knew at that time, or what we thought was he was sober, and but you know what stays in Vegas, what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas, whatever,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's crazy, man. And but hopefully, the DNA tour starts. Well, no, it starts next year. Never mind.
Mm.
I was thinking it started like next week.
Well, isn't that's something that we should talk about as well? Because the minute
They
they keep,
called it early. I called
what
it way,
happened?
dude. Like it was 4 days. They called it. They said,
Yeah.
"All right, we're gonna do it next year." The world's not opening up. 4 days later, like New Orleans was like, "All right, we're gonna do 100% concerts. All right, here's who's coming," and every single Disney World was like, "All right, we're 100% capacity." 4 days later, everything was like going back, starting to shift back to normal. When they said, "Oh, within a month, we'll all be back at 100%," and they are, you know.
bro, you hit it again on the nose. 4 days after they canceled, Garth Brooks comes out and says, I'm
Yeah,
doing massive
that
stadium
was who.
tours.
Yep.
I'm like, what is going
And,
on
and
here?
then, oh yeah, I'm doing a massive stadium tour, and I'll see you in like 3 months.
Full capacity, full
you know,
capacity. Oh.
yeah, they called it, but I guess it was that they were listening to their team, of course, because that's who's in charge. But
Mhm.
it was like, come on, man, because now we have to
Yeah,
wait till
give it a
next
week.
year.
dude. But we were asking for answers, right? The whole fan base was like, give us something, tell us
Yeah.
something. If you're gonna cancel, cancel. If you're gonna postpone, postpone. And they were like, all
Okay.
right, whatever. What you want, you get.
Oh, that's sad, man. That's sad,
Man,
dude.
it hurts, dude.
Yeah, yeah, it does, man. Ah, Rory says it was so weird being in Disney at lower capacity. I couldn't. Maybe that was the perfect time to go for me. 'Cause, you know,
Yeah.
I we're planning on going sometime this year as soon as I'm able to walk, and it's gonna be crazy.
Hmm. Something else that you hit on was going back into civilization, right? Going
Yeah,
like, okay, here, now go live your lives. It's got to be hard on the kids more
yeah.
than anything, you know?
It is, man. And personally, though, I think it's hard on us because we lived this way for a year, and we were told to wear a mask, we were told to do things, and now it's like you don't have to do none of that. And it's like,
Huh.
how do you? For me, I struggle with it, even though I'm vaccinated, because I'm like, how do you not? How do you break from that?
It,
You
it,
you do something for so long,
it's a habit, right?
it's instinct. Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
seems hard though for me. And I guess whenever I'm better, I feel better. But as of now, I'm immunocompromised, so I have to wear a mask and all. But it's just weird, seeing going places and seeing 100% capacity and seeing everyone hugging each other and public, you know.
Hmm. It's a trip, dude. It really is mind blowing. Like I took my kids to the College World Series, and they were like, they almost thought we were doing something wrong, like we were doing something illegal. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're like, hold up, wait a minute, like
Yep.
what is all these people like? What's going on here? You know?
Yep. MMP, Zania, why not BSB do a stadium tour so it's open air when it's okay to go back to a tour? Um, by the time they go back on the tour, it it's going to be what, another year, right? Around another
Yeah, yeah.
year.
Another year. Yep.
So it's not even going to be the way it is now, And I mean, I'm going to see Eric Clapton in September. You're going to see Garth in August
August. Yep.
with 93,000 people.
90 plus thousand.
That's crazy, man. And
Oh, it's
and
nuts.
those are. Is your pavilion going to be closed? The arena closed or open?
It's open.
Mine's
Memorial Stadium's
closed.
an open thing. Is it?
Yeah, it's going to be about 20,000 people closed.
Wow.
Uh,
Yes. So it looks like their first tour on DNA World Tour 2022 is June 4th of 2022. So you're looking at one
wow,
year from 2 days from
wow,
now.
man, that's really sad. I mean, I feel bad for people who haven't seen them, who haven't seen the
Me
DNA
too.
tour. It breaks my heart because it was so good.
Yeah. And I want to take my kids to this one, and now they're going to
Yes,
be,
yes.
I don't know what to do, man.
We'll see.
Backstreet Love has a question for us, Caleb. And I think we hit on this a couple episodes ago. What are your opinions on Pitt? You had a pretty good experience in Pitt, correct?
Yeah, yeah, I did. I was in Pitt for a couple. Well, for DNA, I was in it once, and that was where to be. But honestly, if you go see it twice, it's something on the floor, you know, 15, 13, 12, 15 rows back. That way you could see the stage
Mm,
and then go the next night or the next date and do Pit. Pit was awesome, but then whenever there was a part where they were on a riser and you didn't see them and you had to look at the
yeah.
screen and watch them sing a couple songs, and that was kind of sad. But the night before we saw them, 15 rows. So we
Yeah.
saw what they were doing up there, and but I love the Pit. Pit was cool. I do suggest you guys wait for Ticketmaster to not for people to stop charging. Like I saw today, someone wrote on the New Kids on the Block for Fenway. They said, "Oh, I see The Pitt tickets are $2,236 each. Is that a
What?
fair price? And I'm like, that's a third party person reselling them.
Did I
You know,
hear you wrong, bro? What did you
yeah,
say?
yeah, it was 2,000, like 236, I think they said. And it was somebody selling them that way. Originally, it was like 300, 400.
Oh my
And a
goodness.
person was like, I want Pitt. Should I go ahead and go for it? I'm like, no.
Mm-mm.
You
No,
know,
gosh, no. Goodness, no.
man. But yeah, which brings us to another thing, man. You know, New Kids will be the first big boy band, huge concert at Fenway Park.
Yes.
Um, that's going to be in August, and that is going to be a show. I wish I can make it. I wish I
Yeah.
can be there, man.
Let's see. So they New Kids on the Block are doing August 4th in Columbia and then August 6th at
Yep,
Fenway Park. Dude, talk about going home, huh? I mean, that
yep,
is a homecoming for them boys, dude.
yep. And it's, you know, they fought and fought and fought to make this date happen. And you know, shout out to Andy.
What up,
Andy,
Andy?
we had her on the show. She's so cool, and
Great
I,
episode.
I try to keep up with her because you know, we're all New Kids on the Block fans, and I just love what Andy does.
Blockheads.
Yeah, man, I love what Andy does, and she's great. But yeah, I would just love to be there, but it's just not going to happen. I can't. There's no way I'd be on a flight in August, maybe in
Nah,
September.
I know, man. And I think, you know, you got to look out for yourself as well.
Oh
Rory's
yeah.
asking if you went to the NKO TBSB tour. I did not, and I hate myself for it.
I chose church camp where they abused me instead. They really did.
Yeah.
I was a kitchen worker, and the people were just so abusive. And
Jeez.
yeah, so I regretted that decision my entire life.
Somebody, Dolores, shout out to Dolores Lopez. You know, we love you. She
Oh
says, I have
yeah,
300 section, but if I can save up more money, I'm going to try to get closer seats next year.
oh
Dolores,
for
I think
sure.
you do exactly what Caleb has advised. He did. He told me the same thing. That's what I'm doing. I'm holding on to my tickets. I got DNA row, whatever that is, DNA side. It's the same thing I
Hmm.
did for the DNA World Tour here in Omaha. Um, exactly what you had said, Caleb. Once they go up, you can't see that, and Don't Want to Lose You Now is
Yeah,
my top 3 favorite songs of all
me
time.
too.
Um,
Oh yeah,
so I'm going to do exactly what you said. You've been telling me this for a couple years now, or a year now, sorry, to wait, and then you know they'll update or upgrade you, and that's what I'm
yeah.
holding on to hope for. So
Yeah, man. As soon as Pitt becomes available, or the DNA Circle, and it's 300 whatever price, um, go for it. You know, a call ticket master is $10 or $20 to upgrade, plus the additional cost of the ticket, whatever's left over between the original amount you paid for. So really wasn't a bad, because whenever I bought them, I bought like floor row 13 or 15, and I think we paid like 70 or 50 or $60 extra, and we upgraded to the DNA because the DNA Circle became available like 5 days before.
yeah.
So that was
Uh,
great.
Backstreet Love had a question for us here, but what if they change it up and not go up? Well, I guess the first question to our friends at Backstreet Love: where is your venue? I guess that's the main thing
Yeah,
to
yeah, because
narrow down.
a lot of them, if they're not able to do it, they're on the stage.
Yes.
Yeah,
So very, and you know what? I've never not been front row for a Backstreet concert, but the more I talk to you, Caleb, the more
me
I'm
neither.
thinking that my second show, I'm going to get, you know, like Woodland, Texas. I think I'm going to do the lawn
Yeah,
so I can get the whole experience. You know what I
and
mean?
you can hear it. You can hear the vocals so much better because they come out all the way to you, right into your face.
Yep.
You'll literally be centered. You'll
Yeah.
hear it equally, you know?
You're answering her next question, or sorry, their next question. Backstreet Loves. It's outside, and it's an amphitheater. That's
Oh
exactly
yeah.
what Caleb's talking about.
Yeah, so they won't have the level or anything.
Correct.
It's they're gonna be on the stage singing it. So you don't have to worry about that.
Yep. Keep your seats. I think I honestly think the Backstreet experience is what you make it, and
Yep.
who you go with, and the mindset you're going into it. I'm sure you've seen them 100 times, Backstreet Love, but from my experience, it's it's what you make of it. You could
Hmm.
go with anybody. It's like going with Caleb is going to be a whole different experience than
Oh
going
yeah.
without him.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy, man. I'm excited. I'm really excited, and
Me too.
if they open Pitt for a reasonable price for Texas, we'll definitely just upgrade.
Yeah, you bet, and I can't wait to do a live show from the show. That's gonna be so cool, bro.
Yeah, man. Which I guess we should talk about a little. Is our next live show, man.
Boom.
Our next live show is what, next Friday?
Next Friday.
And man, don't we have like one of the coolest people? I've personally got to meet him at Comic Palooza in 2016.
Hold on. Do you want to do the video first?
Yeah, let's go ahead and show the people for those who don't know, man.
Here we go.
Hey guys, it's Chris Kirkpatrick here, requesting that you join me on the Frickin' Frack Show. I'm going to be on the Frickin' Frack Show. Hopefully you guys can join. It's going to be a really good time because the Frickin' Frack Show is awesome because it's for the fans, by the fans. See you there.
Cool.
Ooh, so yeah, we got Chris Kirkpatrick from Nsync. This is going to be a huge event for us. Episode 49. And we encourage you all, for those who are going, go ahead and go to the events, under events, and let us, RSVP, let us know you're coming, and submit your questions to us. It's going to be a huge event, guys. Definitely huge.
So yes, we definitely encourage questions during the show, but we
Mhm.
also encourage you guys to go ahead and submit them ahead of time or on the post. Because here's the thing, guys. When we're doing one of these live events like this, the questions and the comments roll in like wildfire, and we want to focus on
Yep.
Chris. So
Yep. And I mean, he's we'll talk about Nsync a lot, but we'll also talk about Chris. We
yes,
want to know Chris's story. We want to know Chris, you know, Chris as a kid and Chris's influences and things like that. We just want to be different,
yep,
and that's what we strive to be. We really try not to ask the same questions as he's heard a million times.
yeah.
This will be Chris's platform to tell his story, and this will be his chance to kind of to speak to all you guys and answer your questions and get to know each other.
Yep. So I went ahead and I dropped the link for the Facebook event into the chat here, guys. You guys can
Sweet.
use that link, share it, like it. Let's make this the biggest event Frickin' Frack Show has ever had. And Caleb's right, man. This is
Yep.
going to be a different Chris Kirkpatrick interview because here's the thing: we are for the fans, by the fans. We want to know Chris's story. Yes, we're going to talk Nsync, like you said.
Yeah.
Of course we are. We're going to talk about Backstreet. We're going to talk about the 90s and 2000s, but I want to know how Chris got to that point. How did you get there? What happened all those years before you were Nsync,
Yeah. Which, fit we want him to fill in the blanks.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, make sure you guys go ahead and you drop in on the event page, drop in on the chat during the live interview, message the Frickin' Frack inbox. Let us know what you want to know. What are the questions you guys want to hear? Because that's why we're here, really.
Yep. Yeah, we want to try to answer, get a few. We'll choose a few questions out of everybody, and we'll definitely learn a lot about them, and we'll also get a lot of new people in this group. We have a lot of Nsync groups of fans coming to the show to be with us that night, and that's super, super exciting.
Yeah, constantly growing, constantly expanding, and I think that's
Yeah.
important, guys. This entire episode was mainly about the Backstreet Boys and Nsync. We want to continue to evolve, right? We want to continue to grow this page and grow along with you. You guys have been along in this ride for us for 48 episodes. 49 is going to be massive. 49 is going to be massive.
And 50 is going to probably be larger than life.
Oh, what'd he say?
Yeah,
we got a special event planned for your 50.
we'll reveal a bit. We'll reveal what's happening on episode 50 soon.
Yeah, maybe we'll do it at the end of episode 49 because that's kind of how we do it. We might do it before
Yeah.
that. We just go by the seat of our pants, baby.
Yep. We just go with the flow.
Yeah. Backstreet Love wants to make sure that we ask about ATCK, and we will.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, so there was one last thing that I wanted to touch on with you, man. The Britney Spears controversy that's happening. That's been happening for a while. We got about 5 minutes left in the episode. Caleb, you had kind of simply put what's happening with her before the show. If you would, I kind of want you to do that again for the fans.
Yeah. So what's really happening is basically she had a mental breakdown. She had a lot of health issues, many years ago, and since then her father has been her her conservatorship person, where basically he controls finances. Well, him and a team control finances. They control what she does. They control when she does it. They control her career. They control her love life. It's the craziest thing ever, but they control everything. She can't even get pregnant without, getting an okay from her father. And she finally was able, after many, many years of, hashtag free Britney, but after many, many years of that, she was finally able to have a voice in court. And we all thought that, okay, she finally exposed the people, and she finally, showed and talked about she was sick with 104-degree fever, and she was forced to go on stage. And she was threatened to get sued by everybody and her team and everybody. I mean, if she didn't go on stage and perform, there's just so many illustrations that she came out and told the judge, and we said, okay, she finally did it. This is it. And it was the most disappointing news yesterday when they announced that the judge declined Britney's release from her father. And it was the saddest thing ever, because the same day Bill Cosby gets released from jail.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's just wild. Wild.
And I do understand. I read into the Bill Cosby thing. I do understand what the legal people did. He should have never went to jail because of that. That was because the girl who he went to jail for, 10 years or 15 years ago, agreed to get $3 million in exchange. She can't sue him and she can't press charges in the future. But, they just did something terrible to him. Now I'll say this, like, that does not excuse his behavior and the stuff he's done. Not at all.
No.
But what they did wasn't by the book. And he was able to get out because of that. Not because he's
on
innocent.
A legality. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Nope. I totally agree. Totally agree.
On
the Britney thing, I listened to a podcast that was talking about it, and the guy brought up a solid point. No matter what happened with Britney Spears, no matter what she went through, no matter whatever mental stuff that was going on, that is her money to burn. That is her life to make those choices.
Oh yeah.
That is whatever's happening there, whatever was happening at the time, that is not her dad's concern. That is nobody's concern but hers. If she wanted to go and buy 13 Lamborghinis and Ferraris, then by God, go buy 13 Lamborghinis and whatever, because that is your earned money. You earned it. It's crazy to me that that's even a thing, that you can even have a conservativeship. Sorry, I'm all hot.
Yeah.
Hot and bothered.
It is, but her conservatorship person who's in charge of her money stepped down today.
Really?
Yeah, they said he retired. He said he no longer wants to be a part of it after everything that came out. Who would?
Agreed.
And sadly, the stuff she was saying was truth.
Yep.
I mean, it's the saddest thing ever. And maybe Britney, maybe there'll come a day where Britney is finally free. But I don't even want to go. I don't want to go because she lip syncs, but I wouldn't go now because I'd be supporting her father and
The
her
money doesn't go to her. Yes.
Yeah, I'd be supporting her imprisonment.
Yep. You're right.
And maybe people think about that too when she does do the tour. They'll say, well, she's on that stage forcefully.
Yes.
Not willingly, forcefully.
Yep. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you 100% of the way. Yep. Free Britney, man.
Free Britney. Free Britney indeed.
All right, guys. So next week we got a huge episode. You guys heard all about it. Share the love, share the event. Let's get this thing popping. Let's get this thing huge. Caleb, I appreciate you once again for toughing this one out, man. I know you're not feeling well. This is truly for the fans. Truly for the fans.
Thank you,
everybody
guys,
go
so
like
much.
the Backstreet Love page. Yep. Thank you.
We love you guys.
This is episode 48. This is a podcast for the fans, by the fans.
Yo, it's the Frickin' Frack Show, a podcast for the fans, by the fans. This is the Frickin' Frack Show, a podcast for the fans, by the fans.
Frickin' Frack Show, a podcast for the fans, by the fans.
All right, guys, you're watching the Frickin' Frack Show podcast for the fans,
by the fans.